Hello, my reading group. So today you well this not today, this week you have been reading and learning about land. And you read this story, experiment with what a plant needs to grow. So we're going to talk about some text organization, how the information, because remember it's an informational text, it's nonfiction, the author is giving us facts. And one way that we can organize a text is by cause and effect. So I'm going to share my screen, of course, with you guys. And we're going to pull up one of our anchor charts on text organization. And we're going to talk about cause and effect. So this says that informational texts have a structure or type of organization that fits the topic and the author's purpose. So the organization of informational texts can be different. It depends on what fits the topic and the author's purpose for writing that. So text organized by cause and effect, like our story this week is organized by cause and effect, describes how one event leads to another event. So something happens, and because of that, something else happens. And because of that, something else happens. And because of that, something else happens. And you could keep going. Okay, so we're really going to focus on the cause and effect. So they give you on this anchor chart, they give you a cause. So why something happens, the reason. So their example for you is that it rained a lot. Okay, so it just rained and rained and rained. Well, the effect, the result of it raining is the flowers grew in the garden. And how perfect is this anchor chart? We're talking about plants and growing, and we've got rain and flowers growing in the garden. Perfect. So the cause is it's raining a lot. That's the reason. That's the reason something is happening. It rained a lot. And the effect of it raining a lot is the flowers in the garden they grew. And some cause and effect clue words. So these words are going to give you clues that this is a cause and effect. You can have so, because, since, as a result, if, then. So if it rains a lot, then the flowers will grow. Or you could have a sentence that says, the flowers grew in the garden because it rained. Since it rained a lot, the flowers grew in the garden. As a result of the rain, the flowers grew in the garden. It rained a lot, so the flowers grew in the garden. So if I were you, and if we were in class, I want you to write that down. I'm going to write it down first here. I'm going to get carried away with my pens. Okay, so I'm just going to write clue words, and I'm going to write those down. So, because, since, if, then, and as a result. Okay, so at home, when you're on page 214 in your packet, at the top, I want you to write clue words and then list those words out, because that's going to help us when we're reading. We're going to talk about cause and effect. So that is that, and we will probably go back to that. I want to get close this. Here we go. So it's an informational text. We're going to have photos with labels. We're going to have order of events. So chronological order is going to come up again. There's going to be some cause and effect. And the pictures and words are really going to help us understand the text. And it says text a lot. And as you go from grade to grade, it's going to say text. So that's why it wants you to kind of see that word, and text means story. Okay. And we are going to evaluate our story or decide which of the details are most important in our story. So for this packet, we want to be on pages, for this first question here, we want to be on pages 127 to 130. And you have 3 questions to answer for this first part. Make sure that you're answering all 3 so you get all of your points on your comprehension sheet. So we're on page 127. And I'm gonna make sure I am on that page with you guys here. Okay. I'm gonna move this. And I'm gonna go like this. There we go. Okay, here we go. What are plants? Plants are living things. They grow, they reproduce. Like you, plants need air and water. They need minerals to stay healthy. They also need food. For a plant, food starts with sunlight. Sunlight fuels photosynthesis. This is a process in which green leaves make food using air and water. So sunlight fuels, it starts it, okay? And then we have some pictures and some captions. With enough sunlight and water, flowering plants will bloom. Plants give us food, wood, and medicine. Photosynthesis provides the oxygen we need to breathe. So provides means to give us that. Okay, that was 127. Now 128. Can seeds get too much water? So this is a heading. It's going to be about, the question, can seeds get too much water? Let's find out. Water helps a plant stay strong and sturdy. But even before a plant shoots out of the ground, its seeds need water to sprout. Can seeds get too much water? Let's find out. So here's a picture, and they've got some water. They have 6 cotton balls, 3 small bowls, a handful of grass seeds, and pencil and paper because they're going to do an experiment. And it says over here, plants die if they don't get enough water. But we're trying to find out, do they get too much water? So page 129. Steps. 1, start by putting 2 cotton balls in each of the bowls. 2, next, fill the first bowl so the cotton balls are covered with water. Moisten, so get them wet. Moisten the second bowl's cotton balls all the way through. Don't add any water to the third bowl. 3, sprinkle about a dozen seeds on top of the cotton balls in each bowl. Label the bowl so you remember which is which. Page 129. Keep checking your seedlings for a week. Which sprouts are the tallest and sturdiest? Step 4, put the cotton balls in a sunny place. Step 5, check the bowls every day. Make sure the first 2 cotton balls stay covered in water. Make sure the second 2 stay moist. After a few days, some seeds will sprout. Think it through. A seed has a coat that protects it. Water softens the coat so the seed can sprout. But seeds also need air. Too much water can keep a seed from getting enough air. So I want you to think about this. So it says that water softens the coat. So that keyword so the seed can sprout. So that water is softening the coat. That's what's happening. The result of that is that the seed can sprout. So your very first question on here is, what caused the seeds in the cotton balls to not grow well? Well, it says too much water can keep a seed from getting enough air. Okay? And air to grow. Now it says, now try this. Plants need minerals to be healthy. Most plants get minerals from the soil. Predict how long your grass can survive without soil. Watch the grass sprouts to see if you were right. And you want to make sure that you write down your prediction before you start experimenting. So your question was, what caused the seeds in the cotton balls to not grow well? Well, it says when there's too much water, the seeds can't get air to grow, okay? Your second question is, what was the effect of giving the seeds no water? So when we didn't give seeds any water, they need water to grow. If you don't if your dad farms or your grandpa farms or your neighbor farms and they plant their crops and it doesn't rain at all, are your plants going to grow? So what's the effect of the seeds or of the crop not having water? Okay, what's going to happen if plants don't have water? And then what do you notice about how the text is organized? Again, we go back to chronological order and lists and steps, okay? So those are the first 3 questions using pages 127 to 130 in your book. We're not done. We need to go down to page 130 or go to page 133, and we have 3 questions there to answer, 6 total questions. So we're going to go to page 133. Okay, and I'm going to go to 133 on here for you guys. 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, and 133. Okay, so I'm going to read on page 33 too. And we're going to compare what you see in the photo to, it says compare what you see to the photo you took on the first day. How are the leaves different from your photo? We want to think it through. Petroleum jelly kept some of the leaves from letting air in and out. Those leaves started to wilt. The leaves that were coated on the bottom wilted the most. So your first question on this packet, it's labeled number 1. It says, what is the cause? What is the cause of the leaves starting to wilt? So if we look down here, we thought about it. Petroleum jelly kept some of the leaves from letting air in and out. So because of that petroleum jelly on the leaves, it didn't let air didn't let air get in and out. So those leaves started to wilt, and wilt means kind of die down and crumple up. And then question 2 on your packet. What is the effect of putting petroleum jelly on the bottom of the leaves? So if we go back to this, I believe what you need, whoops, we're gonna go back to this page. Okay, so they put the petroleum jelly over the top of the 5 leaves, and then they did the same to the underside, to the bottom of the 5 leaves, okay? And it says the leaves that were coated on the bottom wilted the most. So what is the effect of putting petroleum jelly on the bottom of the leaves? Those wilted the most. So when we put petroleum jelly on the top of the leaves, they wilted some, but when we put it on the bottom of the leaves, that's where it the plant, because of that petroleum jelly not letting air in and out, those leaves wilted the most. So they wilted some on the top, but they wilted the most on the bottom. And then your third question, why do you think the author organizes the text around causes and events? I really want you to think about that. Because there are lots of causes and events when we're planting things and, planting crops. If we're planting maybe just a little flower pot, or if you're planting a garden, there are lots of things that happen when we do that. So why do you think the author organizes text around cause and effect? Well, when we use cause and effect, especially with planting, there are lots of things that could happen. And the author wants us to kind of find those out on our own by using an experiment. He wants us to see how things happen and the effect of those, the effect or the result of those things that have happened. So 6 questions you need to answer on this. Okay, please use complete sentences, write in your best handwriting because you're almost 3rd graders. And we will see you later. I gotta stop this. Bye, superstars.